This is what Ryan Reynolds' former co-stars said about him.
Matthew Lawrence claiming an early 20s Ryan Reynolds was difficult to work with long before all the It Ends With Us set drama.
The production team was having a really hard time with Ryan.
So I love him as a comedian, but I think after he got super famous from the first Deadpool, yeah, things kind of changed.
You might be surprised to learn that not every co-star gushes about Ryan. Let's start with Matthew Lawrence, best known for Boy Meets World. Back in 1998, they worked together on a film called Boltneck.
See you in school. Just put it in the old pocket there and head on home, okay?
Thanks for the lift.
Matthew recalls a very different Ryan than the superstar we know today. According to him, young Ryan was a total schlub on set. Apparently the production team was having a tough time with him because he was trying too hard, doing a bad Jim Carrey impersonation.
They even told him, like, Ryan, this is a bad Jim Carrey impersonation. We don't want, just not what we hired you to do.
Producers weren't impressed, telling him he needed to find his own style. They even thought that he might not make it in Hollywood. Can you imagine Ryan Reynolds not succeeding? It's almost unbelievable. But Matthew finds the whole thing funny now, noting that Ryan stayed true to himself and just matured as a human being. He even joked that Ryan was basically trying to Deadpool it way back then. Let's talk about TJ Miller, who played Weasel on Boy Meets World. He claimed that Ryan Reynolds wasn't exactly a joy to work with, even on the movie that catapulted him to A-list status. During a podcast interview, TJ said that Ryan requested a scene retake just to humiliate him in front of the entire crew. TJ described how Ryan in character as Deadpool was horribly mean to him, as if he was actually Weasel. Ryan allegedly made comments about TJ not being the star and only being good for just enough exposition. TJ was clearly taken aback by this and said he wouldn't work with Ryan again. However, years later, TJ changed his tune. He revealed that Ryan reached out to apologize after the story went viral. According to TJ, they hashed it out really quickly. It seems like Deadpool brings out some interesting stories. Let's talk about Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds' time together on Blade Trinity. Apparently Wes was so committed to his character that he refused to interact with anyone as himself. He just wanted to stay in character. Comedian Patton Oswalt shared that Ryan used this as an opportunity to mess with him. Since Wes wouldn't talk to him, Ryan and others would come up with the worst jokes and puns to say to him on set. It created some tension, but Wes later brushed it off, saying it was all due to his method acting. And guess what? Wes even made a surprise cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. Wesley joked that he hated Ryan, but it was all an act that they'd been playing for 2 decades. Apparently it all started with a text from Ryan about a surprise cameo. We've actually liked each other the whole time. Ryan Reynolds has one of the most iconic Hollywood romances of all time with Hugh Jackman, but even their relationship had a rocky start. Hugh admitted that he initially gave Ryan a hard time because he was close friends with Scarlett Johansson, who had just married Ryan. Hugh Jackman joked that he was watching Ryan's behavior closely. Despite the initial ribbing and constant trolling, Hugh insists their friendship is the real deal. He raves about Ryan's talent and humanity, saying he laughed until he cried every day on set. Hugh even called Ryan a brilliant actor who cares deeply about his characters. Rumors swirled about a romance between Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock during the proposal, but Sandra quickly shut them down, calling Ryan an amazing friend. Sandra praised Ryan for his professionalism and unflappable nature, especially during their memorable intimacy scene. Ryan in turn had said that Sandra is singular and that he would do anything with her. It seems like Ryan Reynolds, like any human, isn't perfect. He might have been a bit rough around the edges early in his career, and he's definitely had his share of on-set clashes. But it's also clear that he's grown and matured over the years. Many of his co-stars, even those who initially butted heads with him, have come to admire and respect him. And his bromance with Hugh Jackman is proof that he's capable of forming genuine, lasting friendships.